Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is D, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Life Lesson card of the Hooded Man. And when this card came up today, I was pretty much thinking, okay, it's time to go within and think about our journey. Because that's what this Hooded Man talks about. It's a time of stillness and contemplation. All right, and he does have some tools that we can use because he's got the light and the staff. And it's, the staff is to lean on so you can rethink stuff, all right? And the lamp is to help, bring light to your fears, which we've seen here with the Guardian. We faced him, okay? We went through him, walked by him. But we did have some emptiness with that Seven of Vessels in Mourning. And then the horse came along, to guide us along the way. And as we're on the horse and we're on our path forward, the Hermit comes out of the Wildwood Forest and, with his light shining. And right beside him is the Page of Arrows, the Wren. And, they're both coming out to greet you. And, he's got the light out there to kind of take away the darkness. Maybe it's early morning, maybe it's late at night. And, he's guiding you to look within on your journey to whatever that quest may be, okay? And I do feel that, over the last week to 10 days, it's been more of an inward journey, taking a look at our fears, taking a look at our insecurities, all right? And then bolstering it with, the horse, the Knight of Stones and that security and stability of just trying to get within ourselves, trying to understand that, the light that we have, that we're shining, is to acknowledge an opportunity of, of wisdom coming our way, right? And as we seek that wisdom, we're going to have some challenges along the way. We're going to have some fears, right? And, a couple weeks ago, we had the clearance card come out. The clearance is all about, taking things out and, so we can put new stuff in it. And with the Seven of Vessels, the Mourning card, we had a lot of voids, where we can put water back in, or love, or psychic intuition, or just emotions, right? Because fear is an emotion. And when fear comes along, we need to look at that and say, hey, you're gone. I want to fill it up with light. I want to fill it up with knowledge. I want to fill it up with wisdom, all right? And, when we do that, when we seek that wisdom, okay, we can draw on that spiritual nourishment that the universe is trying to give us, okay? Here it's a wintry scene, right? So it's cold, it's bleak, it's damp. Behind him, he's got his, his doorway into the world tree. So as you start to gather some of those elements to fill the void, all right, it's time to look within. It's time to understand, all right, why it is that you feel this way, okay? And that's, that's the emotion of it, right? Whether that's in a relationship, whether that's in a job, whether that's, however it is, all right? When we go within and reflect on our journey and our experience, we start to understand the patterns that we're living in. If it's a relationship issue, I'm sure everybody's asking, why do I always gravitate towards a certain individual, a certain type of personality, right? Maybe it's that narcissist, or maybe it's, that abuser, right? It doesn't really start out that way, okay? But in the end, it ends up, that it could be like that. So, you always ask that question, why me? Why do I always have that? Well, that's a pattern that you have to learn a lesson with. A lesson of either I need to work on something, okay, and they're here to teach me a lesson, or that pattern of they're going to gravitate toward me, and I know down the road that we're going to, be separated because now I've taught them that lesson. And they're going to be walking away going, why does this always happen to me? Because, when they walk away and they, and they ask that question, They haven't learned that lesson yet in that pattern. Same thing within your work situation. Okay, let's say you're working on a project. You always get these different projects. Everybody around you gets promoted, but you're not getting promoted, to a different project. Why is that? Well, it's because you need to learn that lesson, all right, at work, of working with others, of maybe taking a leadership role. Maybe you're not doing it. Maybe you're just being a supportive person, okay? And you ask yourself, this keeps always happening, all right? So you talk to your supervisor about it. You talk to your manager about it, and he lets you know that, hey, these are the things you need to work on to move forward, okay? So once you get that information, whether that's in a relationship or in a work situation like I just brought up, okay, you have to sit back and look within. You have to reflect, okay, on that journey and that experience. You need to shed light on the issue, within. Because that light is going to show you, okay, where it is you need to fill up one of the voids. And the horse, again, is carrying you. So he's going to, the horse is going to ask you, or somebody that's around you may take on that aspect of the horse, where do you need to push through? Right? How can we move forward? What's motivating you to move forward? And if nothing's motivating you, then guess what? You're always going to be stuck in that pattern. Okay. Now the wren, the smallest bird, that page of arrows, okay, is really the king of the birds. Even though he brings a message in to the hermit, okay, you have a little bit of air energy moving into this. And, the page is a reminder to use your intellect, okay, to look at where you need to fill those voids. All the elements, work together, okay? What's lighting a lamp? It's fire, okay? What's the staff doing? It's grounding you. Okay, the page shows up, that's air energy. Sitting on that rock, just like the King of Stones was sitting on that rock, right? And then, the water is just the snow, okay? It's the feelings, it's the emotions of everything. But this King of Birds, he shows up, and he's an oracle and a keeper of knowledge. He's letting you know that right now is a time of rebirth, internally and universally. All right? So take that opportunity to look within. Take that opportunity to refill those voids. Okay? With that Seven of Vessels morning. Take that opportunity to understand where your path is going. So right now it's a time to withdraw, a time to rest, a time to look back at the last 14 days, 15 days, whatever it's been since we started this wanderer journey, to absorb it. Think about the people that have come along in your life, the court cards, the King of Stones, the Queen of Stones, right? You got the page, the Knight of Stones down here. What is their message that they were trying to tell you? Have you moved forward, or have you gotten into that exploitation, that feeling of it, knowing that there's an injustice, right? That things don't feel equal. Well, guess what? Life's not equal, all right? Life is about experiences. Life is about knowledge. Life is about wisdom, right? Life is understanding how we can continue moving forward on our spiritual path. And once we, absorb that journey and understand who we are in this universe, then we can understand, the part that we play. And we're just a small microcosm of what's going on out there, right? But know this, that as we continue to move forward, the hooded man's light shows the path. We didn't need that light going through the cave to pass that guardian. To me, this is the light of hope, the light of moving forward in gaining our aspirations, gaining our dreams, understanding who we are in where we need to be and where we need to go as we move forward. So take that time. We got a holiday weekend. Take that time this weekend just to, internalize, kick back, relax, and look at your journey. Because he does look at the past along with the horse. And just understand things are going to get better. We just need to put a plan in place. The horse is going to carry us to push us through. And at the same time, we're going to be rejuvenated. We're going to have the opportunity to seek new challenges and opportunities, to move forward in our spiritual path in a way that not only enlightens us, but enlightens others as well. So that's today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel and share it with others. Give me a thumbs up. And this is D for the Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.